Last night, the wildest pitch of the year saw Ernie Clement throw caution to the winds as he scurried home from second base and secured another win for Cleveland, their 6th in a row over Minnesota, as they take this series opener in this crucial 5-game set. What a wild start to the series, and we're back today for Game 2. It's a day-night doubleheader here at Progressive Field. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. Andre Knott will join us shortly. You know, I know you told me a long time ago, Rick, when you played for Cleveland, you'd go to Yankee Stadium, you might win the first 6 innings. But from the 7th inning on, things always took a turn for the worse. And that's the way it's gone for Cleveland this year against Minnesota. They get to the 7th inning, and the game changes in their favor.
And you know what? It was by an error. But good teams take advantage of extra opportunities, and that's exactly what the Guardians did the last night. Miller then stepped up, got an 0-2 base hit to first and third. Straw gets an 0-2 base hit up the middle, and it doesn't end there. Rosario gets the big one to tie the ball game after they were on second and third. They tie it back up, and then they took charge in the ball game. And I'll tell you what, that's what they've done all year against Minnesota.
And then the wild pitch. I mean, this is a rarity. I remember Jason Kipnis in the World Series, Kenny Lofton in the ALCS. You don't see this very often, though.
No, but, you know, Sanchez ended up trying to backhand that ball. He lost where it took off. Clement got a good read, and he had to make the decision. Let's go. Don't stop right there. They had to go all the way back to the backstop. He scored easily. That's the go-ahead run to win the ball game, and another one-run ball game. And 10 of the 15 games, 10 wins by 3 runs or less, 7 by 1 run. And it all seems like it's after the 6th inning. It's 7th inning on. They've had a great year against Minnesota that way.
Nothing can be more demoralizing for a team than having the lead or playing it close and then losing it late.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And you know what? They're in good standards because you're going to have Shane Bieber on the mound today. And I'll tell you what, he beat him last week. But when you have this guy, you know he's going to throw strikes. They could be defeated in this ball game early. Shane Bieber pitched a whale of a game last Sunday, as a matter of fact. Had 5 hits, 6 1/3 innings, 7 strikeouts. He went 100 pitches. He's been on a nice roll. So what a better way to start a doubleheader than have your ace on the mound.
Yeah, and hopefully with an extra day's rest at this stage in the season, that does Shane Bieber some good. He'll go out there strong today.
Well, yeah, there's no doubt about that. They're going to be geared for him, but if Shane throws the ball like he has in the last 8 or 9 games, you're going to see the start. 6-2, a 1.75 ERA. He's been brilliant. We're looking forward to it.
And Louis Varland, a Minnesota native, will make just his 2nd major league start of the year for Minnesota. He's one of their better prospects, and he pitched well in his only start this year in Yankee Stadium against New York. We're back with today's first pitch, and we'll check in with Al, Jensen, and Andre straight ahead.
Gorgeous day for baseball in downtown Cleveland. Let's play 2. As a matter of fact, we will. Game 1 of the doubleheader between the Twins and the Guardians coming up. Shane Bieber on the hill. Oscar Gonzalez, who's had a nice month of September here for Cleveland. He's in the starting lineup, and the Guardians will see if they can continue their winning ways here this month and stay in first place. Of course, they will stay in first place, but maybe decrease that magic number. Welcome back. He's Jensen Lewis. I'm Al Pulowski. Well, one of the great hitters of all time, great home run hitters in Major League Baseball, is at it again. Albert Pujols. Last night for St. Louis, hit number 698.
He is 2 away from that magic number 700. Only 3 other guys have done it. What you love about Albert Pujols, he's old and he's doing this. He's
older than you.
His second half of the season has been just remarkable. I mean, I remember when the Cardinals came here back when I was playing, didn't get a chance to face him, but look at this. Since
He's
August
found the
10th.
fountain of youth. Yeah, I mean, he is one of Major League Baseball's best home run hitters in the last month and a half.
He's just crushing left-handed pitching. He's in the lineup to start the day game for the Cardinals today, who will be in the postseason. It's just a matter of time before they wrap up their National League Central.
All right, here in Cleveland, we've got a big day today. 2 games against the Minnesota Twins. First up, Game 1, Shane Bieber on the hill, Andre. And whenever we talk Shane Bieber on the mound, that's a good thing for Cleveland.
Absolutely. The thing about Pujols, he came about 3 feet away from hitting 699 last night. So it should be fun to watch him throughout the rest of the season. For the Guardians, it's always fun to talk about Shane Bieber and what he brings to the mound. Over the last 2 months, he's been one of the best pitchers in baseball. And he says the catching duo of Luke Maile and Austin Hedges is one of the reasons why. And with Hedgie, he always has a way to get him motivated.
He's a special guy. He's one of the many lifebloods of the clubhouse. Kind of hate to love him or love to hate him, whatever, however you want to do. But he'll let you have it either way. So he's a special guy in the clubhouse, interacting with literally everybody in there. He's as loud as he wants to be or as quiet as he wants to be, but when he gets out on that field, he has a switch and he's able to turn it on, and he prepares extremely well along with Luke. I have the utmost confidence in him and Luke and our bullpen and everybody, because of the preparation that they put in. So he's got one of the best feels in the game as well when it comes down to reading swings and reading hitters and adjusting a game plan accordingly. And can go a long way with him and Luke behind the dish, but it's a lot of fun to endure a long season with guys like that.
A lot of people don't understand or see exactly what is done by a guy like Austin Hedges. But yesterday, guys, before the game, he's sitting with Tristan McKenzie playing cards, talking about hitters. He didn't even catch yesterday, but that's what he does with all these guys. Today, same thing. He's sitting in the middle of the clubhouse, waiting and talking pitching, but also keeping his pitchers loose before a big game.
Well, he's always ready to go, and I'm sure he's ready to go this afternoon. And he'll be catching Shane Bieber. He will be the Guardians starting pitcher. Brought to you by your Northeast Ohio Ford dealer. Bieber has been on a roll. He'll be making his 28th start. And this will be his 4th start against Minnesota this year. He is 3-0 in his first 3 starts, 6-1 in his lifetime in 15 starts. And the Guardians are 12-2 in his career against Minnesota.
Rocco Baldelli's starting lineup for the Twins. Luis Arraez once again will DH and lead it off. Carlos Correa batting second. Jose Miranda is third. Nick Gordon batting cleanup. Gio Urshela is fifth. Jake Cave will bat sixth. Matt Wallner making his major league debut. He's in right field. The Twins put Max Kepler on the injured list prior to today's game. Mark Contreras, Sandy Leon will catch and bat ninth.
Defensively for the Guardians, brought to you by Rally House, looks like this. Quan in left field, Straws in center, Gonzalez over and right. On the infield, it'll be Ramirez at third, Rosario at short, Jimenez at second. Miller gets a start at first today. Hedges will be doing the catching.
Will Little call the balls and strikes. Randy Rosenberg is at first base. Todd Tishner, your crew chief, down at second. And Adam Beck is over at third base. The interesting thing about the Max Kepler injury is we saw him foul a ball off of his right knee last weekend in Minnesota. That's not the injury that put him on the IL. He has a wrist injury that has landed him on the injured list, which seems to be a daily occurrence for Minnesota.
Just another guy. They went from 17 yesterday down to 16. Now they go back to 17.
Yeah.
So.
Well, here we go. Shane Bieber getting ready to rock and fire today. 79 degrees, our game time temperature. Unbelievable weather. Lots of sunshine today. Looks like a very light breeze might help the ball in the air to right and right center field. Tito's Ball Club 77-66, 11 games over, and they lead Chicago by 4 games. The Twins in third place, 5 games now back of Cleveland. Guardians have won 9 of their last 11 coming into today. And Shane Bieber's first pitch, a fastball that misses inside for ball 1. Luis Arraez still leading the American League in batting average at .319. Xander Bogaerts second at .315. And a fly ball to center fielder Miles Straw, out number 1. Our storylines are brought to you by Wayside Furniture. How do you get on top of the Twins? How about some early zeros from Shane Bieber and some early offense? These two teams are very similar when it comes to scoring first. Minnesota 57-23 on the year when they score first. Cleveland 58-20. Of course, Minnesota did score first last night, but they were unable to add on as the game went on, and that's a real tribute to Tristan McKenzie, who pitched well as the game went deeper into the night. And then the bullpen came in and did their thing, while Minnesota's bullpen faltered once again against Cleveland. Carlos Correa fouls a pitch off. It's 0-2. Correa has picked up Minnesota and literally carried this team on his back. In the month of September, he's hit .364 with 6 home runs and 13 knocked in. Tops it foul. Count remains 0-2.
I think it'll be interesting to see what happens at the end of the year with Correa. As you talked about yesterday, he can opt out in the first 2 years of his contract to see if he does. Or I know people are saying he likes it there and everything, but you'll have to wait and see until the end of the season.
Sure, his agent will have some advice. You know, a lot of it comes down to, Rick, the market. You know, where will the market be for shortstops and positions?
And there's going to be some good shortstops out there.
Who's going to be bidding, that kind of thing. But he'll have to make that decision early on in the process. In the dirt, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pitchers are such creatures of habit. Extra day rest for Shane Bieber this late in the season should do him
You would think so.
more good than harm.
I think they believe so also. That's why they did it.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
I don't think it certainly can't hurt.
I mean, we know over the years some guys, they like to stay on that every 5-day turn.
Yeah, but when you get late in the year, I can see how the grind is beginning.
If I remember right, Rick, early in the year, Shane Bieber's rhythm was destroyed by rain out. Every time he pitched, there was a rain delay or rain out.
Yeah, and he was going on 6-7 days rest a lot of times, and he was upset with it maybe in his first 7-8 starts.
Yeah, he didn't like that. He didn't like going every 7 days. And, and I was talking to Carl like last night about this. He goes, some of these starters are probably still mad at what we did with them in April. He goes, but I bet their bodies enjoy it and appreciate it right now. They said sometimes they just have to do what they feel are best for the starting pitchers, whether they like it or not.
Right. Well, it's the same way when you get everyday players. You got to find your time to give them an off day. Here, it's a little more difficult for the everyday guys.
The 2-2. Just a bit high. That was a really good pitch.
Good pitch, and it's hard to believe that you don't swing at it. An excellent pitch.
Might have been sitting on a breaking ball, and the fastball surprised him.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. He likes that ball away to shoot it to right field. That's right in his mindset.
One hopper, and it goes through the wickets on Owen Miller. And Correa reaching on the error, so Minnesota one out base runner here in the first. Not sure if that ball had some tricky spin to it.
Well, for Miller, it's just between the legs. Very playable ball. It'll go as an error. That's what got the Guardians going last night in the 7th inning, was that leadoff error. They were able to come around, and they didn't get on the board until then.
Jose Miranda last night 2 for 4 with 2 doubles and a run batted in. He missed a home run on the first inning last night by inches. Hit it off the top of the left field wall. Minnesota challenged the call, and replay showed it literally hit right on the top of the yellow line. It never touched the railing. And hey, the way the game played out, that proved to be a big couple of inches. And that would have given Minnesota another run early in that game.
Bieber looking for the ground ball to pick up his defense. Miranda having a fine rookie season as well, leading the team in RBIs. You mentioned last night he has 22 doubles, 15 homers.
44 of his team leading 64 runs knocked in have come since July 1st.
There you go. Not hard enough.
They get one, and
they do.
They turn the double play. Boy, give Andres Jimenez a lot of credit. He got that feed from Rosario and unleashed a screamer over to first base, and they just do get him to end the inning.
Minnesota, and he'll be making his second major league start. His first came in New York, went 5 1/3 innings, 3 hits, a couple of runs. He walked, run, struck out 7, and pitched a really good ball game. They took him out after 5 1/3 innings, and the bullpen gave up a 2-run homer 2 innings or 2 batters later, and it cost him.
Terry Francona starting line, presented by Progressive. Stephen Kwan, Ahmed Rosario, Jose Ramirez at the top. Josh Naylor will DH and bat cleanup. Oscar Gonzalez is 5th. Andres Jimenez batting 6th. Then you've got Owen Miller, Austin Hedges, and the hot-hitting Miles Straw batting 9th. Stephen Kwan will lead it off. 0 for 4 last night and 0 for his last 12 overall. Takes a fastball for a strike.
The start I saw him in New York, he was like that all day long with his fastball. Low, knee high, he can move it in and move it out like a little short armor. He's throwing darts, so you better be ready.
A little slider and a changeup too for Varland. Stephen Kwan pops one in the air to left field. Jake Cave fighting the sun makes the catch, and he was up against it there. No way. Well, it was only one game, but this is what Louis Varland featured against the New York Yankees. StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud.
Yeah, moves his fastball around well, down in the zone, change up and slider.
Here's Ahmed Rosario with a hit in each of his last 3 games. Last night, a monster 2 RBI hit that tied the game in the Guardians' 3-run 7th inning.
The one thing Minnesota pitching did last night was first pitch strikes. They were ahead of almost every hitter that they faced.
Late in the game, they were still getting ahead, but Cleveland, the 0-2 hit.
Yeah, they had 3 of them in that 3-run 7th.
4 in all in the ball game. On the right side, that'll slice out of play. One and 2 to count on Rosario. And he is down on that slider for strikeout number 1. 2 down here in the first.
Let's check out the Twins defense for you, brought to you by Rally House. In the outfield, it's going to be Cave. Contreras is in center. Wallner over in right. On the infield at third is Urshela. The shortstop is Correa. Gordon is back in there at second. Miranda at first, and Leon doing the catching.
Here now is Jose Ramirez. Ramirez last night was hit by a pitch. He walked, and then he doubled in the 6th inning. .42 doubles for Ramirez, leading the American League. One more than Bo Bichette of Toronto. He rocks it deep right field. Goodbye. 1-0 Cleveland on Jose Ramirez's 28th home run of the year, RBI number 112. Louis Varland in just his 2nd major league start. Maybe he didn't realize Jose Ramirez was laying in wait with that 3-0 pitch.
Well, I'll tell you what, he fell behind him 3-0, and he came in there with a heater. And Ramirez was ready. He jumped him. He wasn't going to let it get by him. And boy, he smoked it. Oh, Jose gets his 28th dinger now. Gets his 112th RBI. And the Guards, that's a high, belt-high fastball out over the plate right into the barrel of his bat. He knew it. Dropped the bat and took the stroll.
Jose Ramirez, a happy 30th birthday gift to himself. Josh Naylor takes a fastball strike. Naylor 1 for 4 last night. It was his leadoff single in the 8th that led to the game-winning run. 0-2 the count. Naylor was replaced by Ernie Clement as a pinch runner, and then he made that epic dash from second base on the wild pitch. It gave Cleveland a 4-3 lead and ultimately the victory in the 8th inning. 0-2 ball hit on the ground. That's the shortstop with the shift on. Correa throws him out. And the inning is over. Jose Ramirez celebrating his 30th birthday today, and on a 3-0 pitch, he knocks it out of the yard.
Guardians back to school with them this month with MLB TV. You can receive a free subscription to MLB TV when you attend a game. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB TV for the details.
Well, there'll be a lot of games, exciting games as we come down the stretch. Fouled back out of play. And not just Cleveland ball games, but if you're a baseball fan, I mean, Toronto's only 5.5 back of the Yankees in the East. The Mets lead Atlanta by only 1 game in the NL East.
How about the wild card in the American League? There's no idea who's going to be the 1, 2, or 3. They're all about what, a half game apart. Or,
and Andre, think about this. So the Mets lead Atlanta by a game, and that's a huge deal to win the division now because that gets you a first-round bye. Oscar comes in to make the catch in shallow right field. Nick Gordon retired for out number 1.
Quickly, I'm watching Gordon not moving well, and he's got some kind of wrap or something on that back toe or foot that he got hit on last night. Just
Nobody's moving well in that lineup.
I don't even want to go talk to anybody over there.
I don't blame you. You'd have to go and stand in line for the trainer's room.
No, Matt, what you're talking about with the NL East is huge with the Mets and Braves, and they're going to fight probably right down to the last day of the season with how close they are.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a lock, but it's pretty much a guarantee that both of them will make the playoffs. But you know, with this new format, fly ball to right. And 2 down.
I said this to you a couple of days ago because I heard some talk out of New York about it. The Mets do not want the wild card because they feel like with the age of their rotation, every extra start DeGrom has to make or Scherzer has to make, if he's even ready, that can put them in trouble. And I think they're starting to look at it as if you win the the wild card round, they don't want to start with Taijuan Walker or Cookie Carrasco in game 1 and be behind the 8 ball somewhat.
Yeah, it's.
Think about how we're already talking about rotations.
Yeah, it's coming down the home stretch here. A little low to Jake Cave. He was 2 for 4 last night with a home run for Minnesota. Sky high pop. Rosario backpedaling. He says, I've got it. He does. And Shane Bieber breezes through the 2nd inning, 1-0 Cleveland.
Members of the U.S. military, active, retired, reserves, and veterans, a 15% discount off tickets to home games. Visit govx.com, or you can bring valid military ID to the box office and save on your Guardians ticket purchase.
Oscar Gonzalez will lead off the home half of the 2nd inning. Brings it the first pitch and fouls it out of play. Oscar comes in having hit in each of his last 4 games, 8 for his last 16. And over his last 11 games, he's hit at a .409 clip with 11 runs batted in. He's down 0-2. towards third. Big hop for Gio Urshela. And throws him up, 1 down. Our Northern Ohio Buick dealer stat. This gives you an idea of what a great job the Guardians hitters have done this year of putting the ball in play and finding holes. They don't hit a lot of home runs, but they're the only team in baseball that's plus 200 more hits than strikeouts.
Yeah, that's, you say put the ball in play and good things happen. It certainly has this year for the Guardians, and the team that's done that all year.
I talked to a person that's with the Twins yesterday.
Ripped down the right field line. Wallner will get there to cut it off, and Andres Jimenez with a 1-out single.
But that stat is huge, and people I was talking to said, look, they think more teams are going to go out and try to be like the Guardians going forward. Because it's easier to find guys that can make contact, I think, than trying to get guys that can hit home runs. And now that this team has shown that they can have success with it, why won't there be copycats out there?
Well, it's easier to make contact than it is to drive the ball 350 to 400 feet.
And strike out.
Consistently.
Not give your team, as you guys just said, an opportunity. When you strike out, there's no chance.
That's just phase one when you get to swing it. You got to run the bases the right way. You've got to take the extra bases. You've got to steal bases if you're not hitting home runs. And it's hard to come back. Well, I mean, it's something that you've got to work at right from day one in spring training.
And the person I was talking to was saying, well, you know, we need athletes, and they thought Kansas City would be a good team to do that because of how they're built with their ballpark, right, Arch?
Right.
But having contact guys isn't as easy as just saying it.
Well, think about the graphic we just showed. That means that there are 17 teams in Major League Baseball that have more strikeouts than they hit.
Wow. And we covered this, documented this over the last 5 years. We were saying there's always more strikeouts than there is hits in all of Major League Baseball.
It had never happened before, and then suddenly it's happened every year since.
There you go, Matty.
Matty.
No shot. I can't dive anymore.
See? What happened to my dog?
No first step.
You know, first.
Hey, it's September. My man got old.
My man got tired. He said, no, I can't do it.
Dre, my first step is backwards.
Arch, you guys got to understand. In March, April, May, June, Matt's almost jumping out of the booth. Now he's not even moving.
Yeah, he's catching up to Papa here.
That's popped up on the infield. Carlos Correa has that for out number 2.
I mean, that's true. I mean, and that's the way baseball was going, you know, with the launch angle, with the home runs and everything like that. But we see a change in it. And I think the changes we're going to see in this game in the next few years, like we talk about, you're going to have to. I mean, because you
absolutely.
Think about this. 20 or so plus years ago, Aaron Judge would have had company. Now he's the outlier.
That's true.
Oh, yeah. He's
point.
the only guy this year that has gone above and beyond the home run call, you know, because of the baseball scenes that we talked about it early in the year.
30 home runs again is legit.
Yeah,
no doubt.
It seems like it.
Austin Hedges, right field, near the line. Wallner makes the catch. No runs, a hit, 1 left. We've played 2. It's Cleveland 1, Minnesota 0. StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. This is Shane Bieber's last start against Minnesota. 48% of his pitches were fastballs. Then slider, he'll cut it. And that curveball, that can be a really good 2-strike pitch for Shane Bieber. And occasionally he'll flip it in there for strike 1.
You know, it takes those hitters off of his slider. You know, and it's a little slower. And he gets a lot of chases on that pitch.
You know what Carl Willis is happiest about? He said in 2020 he relied so much on that curveball that we saw teams.
Bouncing ball to Andres Jimenez, and in his major league debut, Matt Wallner is retired on 1 pitch.
I think they told him to swing at the first pitch you see from him.
They probably told him don't wait for long.
Right. But Carl kind of said, you know, he relied upon that curveball for so long. He said you could tell teams were kind of using that against him. He said, and Hedges really pushed him to use the cutter and the slider. He said he's almost a different pitcher, but the same pitcher because he still throws strikes.
Yeah, bingo. I'll say, you know, he's got now, what is he, 7 outs? And
23 pitches.
4 of them have come on, 3 pitches or less. And that last one, anytime he has an inning where he can get anywhere from 7 to 10 pitches, he can go 7, 8 innings in a ball game.
Well, look what Tristan did last night.
They had him 40 pitches early.
Right. And he ended up, what, 97 or 93, I think, last night in 7 innings?
Right.
Chopped up the gut. cut off by Rosario, and Contreras is retired 2 away.
But Carlos basically said he loves that these starting pitchers are learning that they're using the aggression of the other team's offense against them. He's like, if that's what you want to do, okay, we'll give you a pitch that you hitting the ground and we'll keep going.
Well, I mean, when you're in a division and when you have stuff that strikeout stuff that pitchers can put you away with, hitters don't want to get to 2 strikes. You have too many weapons. And there's nothing wrong with being aggressive, but sometimes you may hit him and sometimes he may have a quick inning. But that's just the way it goes. When you have good stuff, you throw a lot of strikes. And your defenders love it. The guys that are playing behind you.
Sandy Leon kind of plays to the injuries that the Twins have. Doesn't, I mean, and nothing against Sandy, but he was with us. We move him over there. He catches 3-4 times a week, guys.
Think about this. Sandy Leon went to spring training as a non-roster invite with Cleveland. It was released on March 31st. Cincinnati picked him up. And then we got him back from Cincinnati on June 28th. He played 8 games with Cleveland, and then we traded him to Minnesota.
Right. How many times will you trade somebody to interdivision team?
Right.
If you really don't want them to have him, but they didn't mind. They respected what he did.
Yes. It's the Cleveland way. They told him. They told him if we don't have anywhere for you to play here, and you can get a major league job, we'll help you get it.
Well, his 2 innings pitched helped him get that.
That's right. 1, 2, 3 go the Twins. Shane Bieber looking sharp. It's a full day and night of baseball here at Progressive Field. We'll be back later with Guardians Live pregame for Game 2 of the Double Dip. That'll come your way at 6:30 p.m. presented by your Northern Ohio GMC dealers. Alan Jensen will set you up for the second half of our Double Dip as Connor Pilkington, the left-hander, scheduled to go for Cleveland. Right-hander Josh Winder will go for Minnesota. Louis Varland allowed a solo home run with 2 outs on a 3-0 pitch to Jose Ramirez in the first. That's been all the scoring so far. Now Straw looks at a fastball up high. Louis Varland, Rick, he's about as Minnesota as it gets. Born in St. Paul, went to high school in St. Paul, then went to college at Concordia, which is located in St. Paul, and just called up today from their AAA affiliate, which is in St. Paul.
Sounds like a Joe Mauer guy. You know, went to high school and everything right there. Home state.
Yeah.
They draft a lot of guys around that area.
The right fielder, Matt Wallner, is also a Minnesota product. So you're right. They find the homegrown guys, and they don't let them get away. The 3-1. Nick the outside corner and a full count. Miles Straw batting .327 in the month of September. 1 for 4 with an RBI and a run scored last night. And a 3-2 pitch fouled back.
Pretty good pitch right there, outside edge. Too close to take.
Yeah,
that's for sure. Someone must have made a nice catch below us.
Fans have come to play here today. I saw a guy in the front row of the College Club made a nice catch on a foul ball earlier.
Well, it's nice. It's early. Saturday. Beautiful day.
Missed outside, ball 4. First walk issued by Varland, and that's not the guy he wanted to walk.
Well, Progressive Field Suites are the perfect setting for your next event. Suites provide a private space to watch the game along with food, beverage, and parking. Learn more at CLEGuardians.com/premium seating.
Sandy Alomar got a good look at Louis Varland after the 1-out single by Andres Jimenez in the second inning. So he had a long conversation right there with Miles Straw. We'll see if that leads to anything. Miles has stolen 17 out of 18 bases on the year. Popped up, back of the plate, and Leone gives it a look, but it's into the seats. You know, it's interesting. I'm just thinking to myself, next year when the new rules are in place, the strategy changed. I mean, Varland's already thrown over twice, so next year he would only be allowed one more throw to first.
Better pick him off. If not, then there's a penalty, isn't there?
He can get second base.
Yeah.
It's an automatic balk. So
there you go.
He would now be at the limit.
Oh, I thought he'd be done now.
No, it's the three throws, 2 step-offs.
Well, yes, that is correct. My other thing, and kind of going back to the conversation we were having last inning about putting the ball in play, I feel like the way the Guardians play will play into how you have to speed up everything else, guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if you got to get the ball out.
And you got base runners.
Great.
The only thing, you're going to get an extra 5 seconds. Nice.
Slow chop, and they don't get anybody out. Ball gets away. Straw goes to third. My goodness. Nick Gordon, he thought he was going to be able to tag Straw, and then he thought he could pitch it to second, and then he ended up getting nobody out. And Miranda couldn't corral the throw at first, and Straw alertly moves up as Sandy Alomar leaped to get out of the way. And I mean, Rick, he got some air.
I'll tell you what, that was a great hustle there by Straw to get down there. He slides into second. It was too late by that time.
Look at the hops right here. Gordon's out of frame.
Gordon got it, so I don't know if they're going to. It's going to be a fielder's choice, maybe an error.
Sandy's at least 6 inches off the ground here, at least.
Or just a straight error. But he wanted to get out of the way, and that enabled
first and third. Nobody out.
Sandy gonna get hurt.
Yeah, no. That's an athlete.
He's mad he didn't get the big head picture like Carlos last night.
I talked to him about it.
Did you?
Rosario base hit right field, 2-0 Cleveland. As Miles Straw comes home to score, and Stephen Kwan stops at second base. So the error early, costly for Minnesota.
It was last night. They gave him the extra out, and Gordon was the one that made it. And I'll tell you what, they take advantage of it again. There's a high cutter that he left up. And Rosario, this is right into his swing plane with first, between first and second. So in comes Straw to score the run. They take a 2-0 lead and set up for another crooked number inning.
Birthday boy Jose Ramirez coming to the plate. He's been pretty good on his birthday over the years. Got 9 hits, including 3 home runs.
Not bad. There's not many days in September Jose has as bad. Arch, tell everybody what you told my son about people with birthdays in September.
What did I say?
All the good ball players are born in September.
They usually are.
That made AJ's day. He's been working out since. He's ready now. If it worked for Arch, it can work for him, is what he said.
Caught the inside corner. It was a 3-0 pitch on birthday 3-0 for Jose. Although, as he would tell you, it was simply a home run pitch. Got for the first. Miranda goes to second. There's one. Back to first. It is bang, bang. Call on the field is out. And we'll wait and see if there's a challenge. Stephen Kwan is the runner at third base, but this could be big because he's either there with 2 outs or he's there with 1 out.
That was bang, bang. He got down the line awfully close. We've had a number of close calls here. Kwan had to get down early, and
he is out. So a big double play for Minnesota.
Strong arm of Correa ended up getting him by just a whisker.
And potentially short-circuited a big inning. Unless Josh Naylor can come through now with 2 outs. Breaking ball misses. 1-0. Josh has come up with 14 hits this year with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. It's 2-0. He went to that same back foot slider. Caught a break, Varland. It's called a strike. Josh Naylor asking Will Little, are you sure about that? Slice out of play. And it evens the count now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. With a fastball, strikes about to end the inning. Guardians tack 1 on through 3. They lead 2-0.
All Sunday games to include all Saturday games. The pack makes it easier and more affordable to bring the family to the ballpark. It includes 4 tickets in the family deck and $40 in loaded value to spend on merchandise or concessions for just $80 plus fees. Heading into the top of the 4th, Indians lead it now, or Guardians lead it 2-0. Bieber has been on a nice roll, throwing a lot of strikes. 30 pitches, 18 of them have been strikes. Back to the top of the order with Luis Arraez.
Cut fastball.
Yeah, this is one of the better hitters in the game when he gets a 4-seam fastball.
Glanced off the backside of the mound as it rolled to Ahmed Rosario. And you can tell Luis Arraez still not running well with that right hamstring injury. And speaking of injuries, here's the injury report brought to you by the attorneys at Elk & Elk.
Just keeps right on growing for the Minnesota Twins.
Yeah, we thought that we might see Jorge Polanco in this series make his return.
Buxton, we thought.
Byron Buxton, but still no sign of either guy. Andre reporting that Polanco was on a rehab assignment and was unable to finish the game last night, so who knows where that leaves Minnesota.
Yeah, they were going to play him 6 innings and put him on a plane and send him here was the plan. He played 4 innings and left the game, and it sounds like he just may be done for the season.
I think so, because I think he did that the time before.
Yes.
He wanted to play 6, and they got him out in 3.
Well, Art, you always, and we have this conversation a lot. We have this conversation a lot about guys that play every day and how important that is to a team. But once those guys get injured, it seems like the injury, they can't come right back because they played for so long. Their body is beat up.
Yeah.
And even talking to our coaching staff, they think Polanco is the heartbeat of this team.
There's no question about it.
Miles Straw won't get that. He will cut it off and hold Carlos Correa to a 1-out single. That was an 0-2 pitch, and he lashed it out there for a base hit.
And gets Minnesota's first hit of the ball game here in the 4th. Yeah, I agree with that. Polanco, the switch hitter, usually sits in the middle part of that lineup in the number 3 hole. This guy applies the power. He's probably overall the best player.
Yeah, drives into big runs.
Yeah, I mean, he's a clutch guy. He plays that shortstop every day. He was hurt earlier in the year and missed some time.
This is the first year I want to say that he's missed any time in his whole career. He basically played almost every day for about 5 seasons in a row.
Jose Miranda grounded into an inning-ending double play his first time up. And he looks at a slider off the plate for ball 1. Left field, Stephen Kwan. 2 down. And we'll bring up Nick Gordon.
Stepping to the plate for the Twins.
Gordon last night fouled a ball off both of his feet, his front foot, and then it was the one later in the game when he fouled it off the back foot that really caused him a lot of pain, and he ended up leaving the game.
I see that pad he's got on his back foot right now, the left shoe.
And then in that same at bat, he appeared to roll that ankle over on that back foot.
No, couldn't put any pressure on it. It did not look good. I was sort of surprised to see him back in there today, but they have nobody else.
No, they don't. And you would think on that back foot, Arch, you got to turn and really push off that foot.
Sure you do.
That's got to.
I mean, if you're playing the infield, you got to put pressure on it, breaking to your left or right.
The Correa leadoff is back. I forgot about this.
Oh, yeah. There's no leadoffs there. No stolen bases.
That's embarrassing.
Nor has he attempted any.
No.
No, we saw that early in the year.
It's almost like Gordon's trying to find the best way to get comfortable in the box right now. You can keep seeing his feet moving.
Trying to find where does it not hurt.
Well, and you're facing a guy that can put the ball anywhere he wants to, and that's not a good thing either.
Dished in off the plate, 2-1. Took a vicious hack and came up empty. And it's 2-2. This is that knuckle curve.
Yeah, a lot of people think that's a slider, hitters, but you know it's not. It's slower, and you've got to weigh down a little bit more, and it's got a little different tilt to it and a little different break, and it adds to that slider so much.
Tried to tease him with a pitch down and in. Full count.
And then he comes back with that slider thinking he's going to get the same break.
Carlos Correa will be running on the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. He stayed with that slider, and this time Gordon could not hold up. Minnesota club normally very sound defensively, but Nick Gordon has made 2 costly errors in the first 2 games of this series that have led directly to Cleveland runs.
Yeah, and you see what happens. You make one little mistake, and if you take advantage of it, but that's what good teams do. Take advantage of mistakes. Extra outs in an inning.
Swing and a miss by Oscar Gonzalez, who grounded out his first time up. And a liner just off the tip of the glove of Carlos Correa. He leaped up in the air, just could not corral it, and Oscar has a leadoff single here in the 4th.
Well, I'll tell you what, if he doesn't get it, there's no shortstop going to get it. He's probably one of the taller ones around. He gets a breaking ball. Goes off the glove of Correa. He timed it. See it just go off the fingers of the glove, and it'll go as a base hit for Gonzalez. He continues to hit.
I don't know. O'Neal Cruz might not have even needed to leave the
no,
ground.
It would have been like that. No, no, no. Not in my house.
What is that guy, 6'9"?
7, I think.
That's 6'7"?
Yeah. For a shortstop.
Oh,
that's
not
not
Bailey Ober was 6'9", the
Yeah.
pitcher last night. Yeah, 6'7".
6'7". That's a long stop. That's not a shortstop.
Andres Jimenez, line drive single to right field, his first time up. Back out of play.
There you go. Hop through another Loge and get it.
Center field. That's hit well. Back is Contreras on the track at the wall, and it's off the fence. Gonzalez into third base. He'll stop there. Jimenez has a double, and the Guardians are set up here in the 4th inning. Gonzalez couldn't score because Jake Cave got all the way back to the wall, and he almost made a terrific play.
Well, and you couldn't really go anywhere. He wasn't sure he was going to catch it. Jimenez, though, he was right on his tail. He drove that ball to deep to left center. And I'll tell you what, you couldn't take a chance of sending them with nobody out. So you've got second and third. You've got the inning set up beautifully with a 2-0 lead. You got to trust your guys. Now you got Miller, Hedges, Straw to come in here and at least get one of them home. You'd like to get both of them.
Yeah, because he drove that ball, Cave couldn't get back to the wall. He was on the dead run. Infield in. Owen Miller takes ball 1 off the plate.
Well, they've already done what Tito likes. You score first and then score the next. They've done that, but now this is an add-on point here. Infield in. This is like 3 at-bats for these guys to try and get that run home from third.
Owen Miller started the year like a house of fire. Cooled off, but now he's starting to find that stroke again late in the season with an 8-game hitting streak and a hit in 10 of his last 11 ball games.
And where's it coming from? A lot of it's coming from the other way.
Yeah, but
staying on the base.
More direct. He's having a more direct path to the ball is what I was told last night. There it is.
There it is indeed.
Direct path is right.
That's going to get 2 more home. And it's 4-0 Cleveland as Owen Miller delivers with a 2-run single.
I mean, that was a pretty swing. I like what you just said right before he hit the ball. More direct path. It certainly was. A level swing. Hands got through the hitting area. It's a nice line drive and drives in the pair. So there's the cutter again. Cut fastball and it stayed up. It didn't have anything. And I'll tell you, if the cutter doesn't cut, it usually does get hit hard. And there it is into center field. Contreras gets the ball, but not before a 2-run score. It's 4-0 Guardians.
Pete Mackey, the pitching coach, out to talk with Varland. We'll pause right now for a word from Spectrum Mobile.
Spectrum Mobile has the best deal in mobile. 2+ lines of unlimited for just $29.99 each. Switch and save up to 60%. Visit SpectrumMobile.com.
Well, the umpires are allowing this conversation to continue. The clock is long since run out. It's that kind of day. Take your shirts off and let it fly, boys.
On Saturday. They're done with a week of school and they're already got their shirts off. Waving them.
Boy, an 80-degree day in downtown Cleveland. And the Guardians now up 4-0 and still nobody out. With Owen Miller at first and Austin Hedges to the plate. Jabbed at it. Bunt attempt. And it's 0-1.
Yeah, I can't believe that there, man. Go ahead and swing for it, Edgy. First and third, and you've got 4 on the board. Deliver the knockout punch.
Swung at a slider. It's 0-2. Chased one and strikes out.
No doubt he chased after it. Might have hit a double if he hit it.
Third strikeout for Louis Varland. And Miles Straw, who walked and scored in the third. This is ball one outside. Give you an idea how big that hit by Owen Miller was. In his career, Shane Bieber, when they score 4 runs while he's pitching, his record is, the team's record is 43-1, and they have won 37 in a row.
That's some dominance there.
You talk about taking advantage of mistakes. I don't know what this was in reference to, but I remember reading once one of those great teams of the past has said making mistakes in front of them is like bleeding in front of a shark. I think that's Shane Bieber to me. You give him 4 runs and all of a sudden his eyes roll back in his head. Like, you know, he's going for the kill now.
Well, he's going to keep you in almost every ball game. Rarely does he get hit around a whole lot. I mean, it happens to everybody, but not very often to him.
3-1 pitch to Straw, liner to center, right at Contreras for out number 2. And now we go back to the top of the order, and Stephen Kwan. There you go, 43-1 all time when they score 4 runs while he's in the game.
I don't want to make anybody do work, but that is so close to the stat we used to have on Corey Kluber. I mean, it's dead on. Remember that? He got 4 runs. The game was basically over.
That was the same way. You're right.
It's just amazing how, and remember when he first came up, Tito said, I don't want to compare because it's not fair, but he kind of whispered, he reminds me of Kluber.
A lot of similarities.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong to say, but you don't want it out there where everybody thinks he's going to do exactly the same thing because they're 2 different guys.
And they are. And they've got different personalities, but it is beautiful to watch how they attack the strike zone.
Yeah.
And you say it, teams are the same way against them. They don't let them get deep in the count because they know they can strike them out.
And they're smart.
What I've always enjoyed watching is that Shane Bieber has always stayed who he is, true to himself. He's never tried to be Corey Kluber. He probably took bits and pieces, watching what he did and incorporated
into his own game.
He's a knuckle curve guy, and fastball spotting. I mean, they're different pitchers.
They're both, but they both had great control.
Yeah, there you go. But Matt, I think, is on to something. Personality-wise, Shane has been very strong in who he is. And I can even remember as, you know, when Trevor Bauer was here and Clevenger was here, Tito was worried that he was young and impressionable and kind of trying to figure out who he would take after and follow. And he followed Shane Bieber. He didn't follow any, you know what I mean? He listened to those guys, watched those guys, but he was his own man from the very beginning, and I think that's helped him tremendously.
Fouled right back, just as Tristan McKenzie is his own man. I mean, these guys, I guess that maybe Rick comes with the territory. As a starting pitcher, you go out there, you're on an island, literally.
You're by yourself, man. It's your day.
You can't try to be somebody else. You better be the best version of yourself.
Anytime he toes the rubber, you're happy to see, you know,
Bieber Day. Bieber Day.
That was the same thing with Kluber. It's Kluber Day. I mean, when you want to see a guy pitch every 5th day,
Line drive, but it's fouled on the right side.
Hey, there was a reason. Oh, Blue almost made a catch, and that's my guy down there. I got to get on him. He's a good dude, but yeah, get on close on him. He should have caught that.
No, you'll have
That's my man
plenty of
Dante.
time.
That's my man Dante. He's a good man.
You'll have time in between games to go talk to Dante and get on.
Well, tell Dante you got to catch the ball, especially when you're in the blue. But there was a reason why they wanted Shane Bieber to pitch this first game of the doubleheader in this series. Because they all know the guys come in on Bieber Day. I almost said Kluber. They know they come in on Bieber Day and they feel like they're going to win.
Ripped down the
Got
line
a chance again.
And that's foul into the corner. We hit that one hard.
Come on, Dante, catch that one.
A little deeper.
Archie told me the reason we've seen him jump some guys first pitch now, he says, I've been around a little bit longer. I know what guys are trying to do to me. I've seen certain pitchers. Because of that, I'm more comfortable taking that swing earlier.
Yes, he's getting adjusted. He feels more comfortable. Good for him. I like his discipline, and he will learn how to, jump pitchers early.
Two-two, and a ground ball. Gordon will go to first. That will end the inning. But the Guardians come out swinging here in the fourth. Oscar Gonzalez with a leadoff single. Jimenez doubles off the wall, and Owen Miller drives in two. It's 4-0 Cleveland. Cadillac dealers. And by Union Home Mortgage. Promises kept. Guardians on top 4-0 now. Fifth inning, Gio Urshela to lead it off for Minnesota. And it's a fastball strike on the outside corner.
Bieber trying to get his team right back in there. For Minnesota, you just want to get a base runner. You want to get something going. You're at the middle part of this ball game where you have to, try and get on the board, try and do something to just slow down Shane Bieber, who's been in a nice groove. One hit allowed in his 4 innings so far.
Rick, you go back to last night, Bailey Ober from Minnesota in 5 innings. He allowed 1 hit. He only walked 1 batter. Had 5 strikeouts. But the way he pitched, at one point you were kind of asking yourself, as the 1-2 to Urshela is fouled off to the right, is Ober this good, or are the Guardians just not being competitive enough in their at-bats? And for Minnesota, I'm sure their fans are watching this game going, geez, a lot of early outs, but that's the way when you've got a guy like Bieber and they know how he pitches.
Stays on the edges. Ober did that last night. Stayed ahead. First pitch strikes to everybody.
And his height
expanded their strike zone.
His height messed with
Oh my, that took a wicked kick.
I've never seen so many balls take hops. This one kicked dead left. I don't know if it hit another lip of the grass there right before third base. Now, if anything, Hosey thought the ball was foul last night. I thought this one was.
I think it hit a spike mark in the dirt.
Yeah, Hosey's not happy about this.
Take a look.
Oh,
no, it hit the corner of the
right
grass.
on the cut.
That's the second time. Watch this, and it just goes left. I don't know if that was fair. It had a blinker on, I saw. That'll go as a double for Urshela.
Hosey just rolled that ball over here at me about 90 miles an hour.
Right over the bag.
That's amazing.
And maybe that's the break Minnesota's been looking for.
Well, they did. They caught an ice break right there.
Bieber right back to work. There's that first pitch knuckle curve that he can drop in there to get himself ahead in the count.
Thanks to Redbird, we were talking about Corey Kluber and when he got 4 runs, what he was able to do and comparing it to Shane Bieber. Redbird Cleveland was 84-6 with 4+ runs of support for Kluber. They won 74 straight from June 11th, 2013 to July 12th, 2018.
74 straight. How about that?
It's amazing, right? And then you get this kid that comes right in and follows right along.
He also mixed in a couple of Cy Young awards, so
True.
It wasn't just the 4 runs. It was he wasn't giving up, man.
Yeah, that's true. And I'm thinking, you said 37 straight
in a row.
Yeah, but he's got to double that to catch up.
Right.
That's how good it was.
Oh, 0-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Bieber comes right back and gets the strikeout on Jake Cave for out number 1. Rick, what we like to call what Andre just did is that's a topper.
Yeah, of course it is. Andre Skinner.
Yeah. Hey man, I need my room cleaned later on. You want to vacuum it?
I'll tell you what, I got somebody that will.
Got somebody working for you up there. I see how you work.
We clean our own booth. We do everything.
Those donuts were fantastic.
1 on 1 out, Matt Wallner, the rookie in his major league debut, swung at the first pitch he saw and grounded out. This time he takes one, and it's a ball outside.
One of the first changeups we've seen from Bieber today. He usually does mix that in occasionally against left-handers. He felt maybe the rookie was going to swing early again, so he started him off soft. Came back with another one. Is that a cutter? Slider.
Now the 1-1. Andre, I'm sure fans have maybe preconceived notions about what kind of guy Rick Manning is, what he does. I'm guessing that watching him run a vacuum cleaner would not be on the list of things they would imagine and conjure up in their own mind.
He's a neat freak. Nobody knows it. I called that before it even happened, which is great.
Swing and a miss, 2-2. So Rick's buddies from Niagara Falls, they visit every couple of times a year, and they always bring us treats. And, I mean, a box of donuts that they could probably put an elephant to sleep. These things are so heavy and dense, but they're messy, and there were crumbs all over the floor in our booth, and Rick got a vacuum cleaner and cleaned up the entire booth before the game.
10 minutes before that happened, I said to Gary, I go, you know he's going to go clean this. He's not going to be able to deal with this. I swear I said it. I go, he ain't going to be able to deal with all this on the floor.
We're spending more time here this week, and I can keep the house clean.
You can eat off the floor at Rick Manning's.
I'm doing dishes in between games.
We're going to get video of that, too.
Brings his own mop and dustpan to the game.
He's Mr. Clean.
We have magic stats? No magic stats today.
Stats.
No.
That's in the booth.
3-2 pitch to Matt Wallner. Struck him out looking. The knuckle curve put him away. Third strikeout for Bieber.
Yeah, he locked him out here. He wasn't looking for that pitch. All of a sudden, that's the honey, the dew drop in. And there it is, right back into the strike zone. Called third, second consecutive strikeout. So his last 3 outs have been 3 straight strikeouts.
And now Mark Contreras will ground out his first time up. He shot one right back over the mound. And Ahmed Rosario took care of it. This time he goes to Jimenez. And he'll throw him out. We're halfway through, and it's Cleveland 4, Minnesota nothing. Check out our American Family Insurance Dream Fearlessly. Guardians now have 25 wins in their last at-bat.
And scoring from second base on a wild pitch that Sanchez could not pick up. Tried the backhand, and Ernie just kept right on going. Picked it up and says, I got to go. He goes. That's the winning run in last night's ball game.
Ahmed Rosario, an RBI hit in that third inning. And a base hit. That'll start the 5th. And Ahmed Rosario is 2 for 3. And that's the 8th hit now for Cleveland. Check out our all-state mayhem moment. 2 outs in the first inning, a 3-0 pitch. And Jose Ramirez crushed it. His 28th home run of the year. And 112 runs batted in.
That got him off and running with 2 outs in the first.
And so today, another one of Tito's mantras: score first,
yep,
and then score next. And that's what they've been able to do here today.
Done it twice. Rosario got his second hit on a breaking ball.
And it's going to go out of play. Jose now with 3 home runs on his birthday, equaling the feats of Carlos Santana, Jim Thome, and Rocky Colavito.
Hey, Redbird, we couldn't find what Rick Manning did on his birthday back in the day?
I don't like the way he's laughing.
It's not about you.
It's not about you either.
Fouled off.
You know Redbird's going to have your numbers coming. It's coming any minute now.
I like how you paraphrase everything. Well, not that I want anybody to do any work, but what about...
That's like when somebody says, I don't mean to be a jerk, but usually you're getting ready to be a jerk.
Drop everything you're doing. I need this right now. Foul up the first base side.
Redbird knows we have plenty of time. He can get it to me in the 7th inning of the next game. It may not be that hard to look up.
Then look it up.
Have any idea the man hours it took to put that last graphic together?
I know. Look at you guys are going to kill me for it. All right, I'll look it up. I'll leave you alone.
Hunter's going to go to the library. Oh, first he'd have to find it. The 0-2 in the dirt. Just put the mic down. Don't even try.
Smart man.
Jose Ramirez now 49 runs batted in his last 62 games. 112 for the year, second only to Aaron Judge. He came into today with 123, and there's another long drive, but that's foul.
Rosario off and running on that pitch, thinking probably he would get a breaking ball, which he did. You know, so Jose was out front. There's nothing he could do there, but that was a good pitch to hit. You know, it looked like Leon wanted to go out and grab that ball before it got in there.
Yeah, how many times you suppose over the course of a catcher's career, out of the hand, a catcher said, no, 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 no.
Yeah, he sees it on the way. Let me go get that ball. Yeah, they can see it as good as anybody, knowing where the pitch should be and where it's going.
There goes Rosario, and Ramirez pops it up left field. Cave drifting back a bit, and will make the catch for out number 1.
Well, 2023 season tickets are now on sale, and if you buy now, you'll have access to potential 22 postseason games. Plans begin with just 20 games, and they feature discounts off box office pricing, flexible exchange, concessions, team store discounts, and other benefits. Call 216-420-HITS, or you can visit cleguardians.com/season tickets.
Josh Naylor stepping in 0 for 2 today. Down and in. Louis Varland in his second major league start. His only other start this year came against the Yankees in New York. He's called up today as the 29th man, and as he's crossed the 80 pitch threshold, Minnesota now gets some action in their bullpen. Chased one. And they count 1-1.
Well, I was on the way to the library, but Red Bird hit me up with a text because that man is great. I owe him a donut in between games. On September 2nd, Rick Manning hit .279.
Ooh.
4 ribs, 3 doubles, no home runs. Not bad.
There's a ball blistered down the right field line. Rosario can run all day. He's on his way to third. Zarbaugh's going to put the stop sign on. And wisely so. Wallner did a good job. Initially, it looked like he was having trouble picking it up, but he hit Correa right in the chest with a great relay throw. And I don't think Rosario would have been able to get home. So second and third, 1 out.
Well, yeah, you've got the 1 out, and you've got Gonzalez coming to the plate. He rifles this little changeup, I think, going away. It was 88. And into the corner. Here comes Rosario. Now, you know he's always running. He's thinking RBIs for all of his guys that he wants to score, and he doesn't stop it. There it is. Zarbaugh holds him up a little bit late, but he had to stop, and the wise decision. Now the infield comes in again for SpongeBob. I wouldn't want to be playing on the grass with him hitting. Singled in his last at-bat.
Yeah, he smoked that line driver just over the glove of Carlos Correa. Fastball strike, bottom of the zone. It's 0-2.
Good fastball down right at the knees.
Now, Rosario is such a good instinctual base runner. He's looking for a ball that's going to go through the infield here. Or if it's slowly topped, he's going to take off. Right-hander Aaron Sanchez getting loose.
He has a knack of fouling off a lot of tough two-strike pitches. His reach is so long going out on the outside of the part of the plate. You'll see him a lot of times just top balls. Expanding the zone.
Oh, right at Gordon. He hit that on the screws, but it was right at the second baseman who never moved a muscle.
And that's the chance you take when you pull the infield in. If it hits it at a guy, right at him, there you go. That was 103 coming off the bat. Watch, not a lot of time for reaction, but it was right in his tracks, and that's a tough AB when you hit it that hard. Nothing to show for it.
Well, with 2 out and Andres Gimenez coming to the plate, he's 2 for 2 and has hit the ball hard both times. This may be a question of, hey, what do you want to do? You want to go at this guy, or do you want to put him on, load the bases with 2 outs and face a right-hander and Owen Miller, who also had a line drive hit his last time on?
Well, they're going to go out there and figure it out, but you have first base open. You don't necessarily have to walk him intentionally, but you're going to relay to the young pitcher that, hey, you don't want to throw him a quality strike because he took you off the wall to the left last time. Got a base hit to right the first time.
Andres Gimenez.
Now they walk him.
Will be intentionally walked. Came in among the top 10 in the American League in batting average this year, and he has 2 more hits.
And I don't disagree with that by any means. Now you got an out at any base. with 2 outs now, and you got your right on right, even though Miller drove in a pair of runs with his last base hit.
Owen with a 9-game hitting streak now.
This is one where they could just really poke a hole in it now.
Outside ball 1.
And patience is what you have to have. The pressure is right now on Varland. This will be probably his last hitter no matter what he does.
Two and 0.
Well, they can get it in the zone. Good take.
The St. Paul, Minnesota native knows he's got to throw a strike here. And so does Owen Miller. Got in on him and popped it up. And the Guardians leave him loaded. So it remains 4-0 Cleveland as we move on to the 6th. All right, let's check out our stats with Lowe's. Shane Bieber moving up the ladder. He's now right behind Framber Valdez for the league lead in innings pitched, and that's what you look for from the workhorse. At the top
He's
of your
been
rotation.
a horse, and you know what? Look at Tristan right down there. Don't overlook that because I never thought he would go out and get that many innings because they were going to sort of like slow play him this year. Well, he's pitched his way right in.
To play off of that, Arch, those two guys pitched in the first game of the season together. Remember, they piggybacked.
Yeah, right.
Isn't that amazing that that's how they started the season?
Tristan came in a snowstorm.
Right.
In Kansas City.
That's right.
Remember that?
I blew him over was what we were worried about.
That's right.
But you know what?
Had to put sandbags in his back pockets.
We laugh about it, but that's something that means something to Tristan. He knows that people look at his body type and everything else, and can he do a whole season? And he said he learned in 2020. Being able to pitch every 5th day for your team means almost more than doing anything else in his job.
Right.
Because I want to be reliable. I want them to know that I can do this. I'm going to do whatever it takes to get my body ready. And lo and behold, he's in the top 10 in innings pitched.
Well, I mean, just reflect back on what he did last year and the ups and downs, and some of the
Leon strikes out. That's number 4 for Bieber.
Some of the games where he had to go down to the minor leagues, think about it, but he's learned and he's put it behind him, and he's going to do the same thing this year and get better next. There's the curveball.
Got that in the back pocket whenever he needs it.
And that guy has a pretty good curveball himself.
Yeah, you think Thad Levine and Derek Falvey wouldn't kill for a couple of pitchers like Shane Bieber and Tristan McKenzie? I mean, their rotation decimated by injuries. Kenta Maeda, Chris Paddock.
I forgot about those two.
Yeah, I mean, you haven't seen them all year.
Tyler Mahle has gone down. Chris Archer hasn't been as expected.
Yeah, but Mahle, they haven't had him, and they had Sonny Gray, who's been out there.
Sonny Gray's been
Chris
their best
Archer, 5-inning pitcher, 4-inning pitcher, 4 to 5, and their starting pitchers, as you mentioned yesterday, their bullpen is the 3rd most innings in the league. That's a tough way to go.
Did they let him go through the lineup 3rd time? Not. If they had Bieber or McKenzie?
Oh, I would assume. We know Cleveland's not shy about that.
Think about it. Starting pitchers were mad that Carl wouldn't let them go as deep as they wanted to go into games to start the season. Look where they're at right now, and I'm sure Cal Quantrill isn't far behind the 2 that we saw on that list.
Yeah, but you see, they know what they're doing. I mean, they've got a game plan. They stick to it. And, it may be hard to see in April, but you can certainly benefit in August and September.
As we have said on multiple occasions, analytics has its place, but there's no substitute for good old-fashioned know-how and the experience that Carl Willis and Terry Francona and everybody combined with these pitchers, that plays a huge role in how they go about managing throughout the course of the season.
Well, and they relay their message beautifully too. I mean, it's written out. It's
no doubt.
You know, they communicate to the player exactly what is going to happen and what's going to take place and why this is going to happen a certain way.
You know, you're talking Triple Crown in the National League with your guy Goldie.
Yeah.
I think coming into today, I got to look again. Aaron Judge is only 6 points behind Horizon and batting average.
That's hard to believe.
2 down.
I know his RBIs and home runs. We don't have to worry about that part.
No, I think he's pretty comfortably ahead in those categories.
Shortstop Carlos Correa.
And now Carlos Correa, 1 for 2. Again, Shane Bieber has pitched into the 6th inning. There are 2 outs, and he has allowed 2 hits and has not walked a batter.
Cruising. The staff didn't walk a guy last night either.
Yeah, Tristan hung in it. You're right. He did not.
Yeah. "70 pitches on the day."
Look at that. You get your couple of pitches, a couple innings, a 6 and an 8 pitch inning. There you see it, 12. That's pitching right there. You know, his strikeouts are down today, which I like because it keeps you in the game longer.
So I ask you, does it make sense to be aggressive against guys like Shane Bieber and Tristan McKenzie?
Yes.
I know
if you don't want to look bad.
Well, but all right, but what we've watched the Guardians do against better pitchers, I think of Blake Snell right away, is they go up there and fight. Yes, they're aggressive, but they're trying to get their pitch count up as well.
Blake Snell's not the pitcher.
No, he's
Bieber
not.
is.
That's true.
Don't even compare him.
All right, I stand corrected. You're right there.
Yes, you do.
He did win a Cy Young, but I agree with you.
Who cares? He had one good year.
Oh, I got him going. Yeah.
Rick would know better than us, but there are some pitchers where you can foul pitches off and stay alive. Guys like Bieber, I don't know if that's
true. I can see that.
No, but I love these guys. Let them go ahead and swing early. That's okay. Now, what happens if they were getting hits? You know, and they have a good day, and they sprinkle the infield with 8 or 9 hits out there, and they're making them work. And it puts him on his heels.
That's true. I mean, heck.
I mean, that can happen. But Minnesota's not swinging the bats. They don't have their lineup in here.
That's true.
It would be a different ballgame if they had all their players back together and in that lineup at one time. They would put more quality at bats together.
Correa is the only guy I can think of. He had a 9-pitch at bat in the first inning.
I mean, Urshela's in there. He's good. Miranda, very good for a young player.
Oh, he got him to go fish. That's 5 strikeouts for Shane Bieber and another 0 on the scoreboard. Ball brought to you by Chevrolet, the #1 selling family of SUVs in the Cleveland area. And by Spectrum Mobile. Switch and save with Spectrum Mobile. Nationwide 5G included. Restrictions apply. Visit SpectrumMobile.com. Louis Varland in his second major league start went 5 innings today, allowed 4 runs on 9 hits, walked 2, struck out 3. He's out. Aaron Sanchez comes in as Rocco Baldelli makes the Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen here in the bottom half of inning number 6. And he'll be facing Austin Hedges, Miles Straw, and Stephen Kwan.
Remember Sanchez with Toronto when he used to be over there? Boy, didn't he have a vicious sinker?
Yeah.
And he couldn't throw the ball straight and had a lot of ground ball outs.
He was one of those guys that, because of the lockout, he didn't have a job. He didn't sign until after March 16th with Washington. Started the year with the Nationals. He was 3-3, but his ERA was .833. And he was designated for assignment May 29th, became a free agent after that, and signed on with Minnesota. Nick Gordon with the shift on, throws out Austin Hedges 1 down.
To the plate now, for the Guardians, number 7, Miles.
And that brings up Miles Straw. Walked and scored in the third. Hit a line drive to center field. It was caught for an out in the fourth inning. Fastball strike.
Got to send out happy birthday wishes to Millie Gumsey of Leroy, turning 99 today. Millie, very happy birthday to you.
Line drive, base hit left field, and Miles Straw continues to swing a hot bat here in the month of September. Spectrum Mobile replay. Back in that third inning, after Miles Straw walked, Nick Gordon didn't get it out, and the Guardians pounced.
Yeah, they've been very good at this, boy, getting fresh opportunities. They've taken advantage of it against the Twins. Last night, they again today.
Matt, as we watch Aaron Sanchez, it makes me realize we got to appreciate what we got when we got it. Because back in 16, when he was in Toronto, you thought he was going to be a Cy Young candidate every year, the way he was pitching back then.
Sure looked like
You know what? It looked like he was going to be the leader of that pitching staff, and just injuries in life have just taken away from what he was.
Well, two things that come to mind when you say that. One, Rick, over the years, has said you cannot count on 1 year leading to the same numbers the next year and the year after that. You just don't know how players are going to respond year to year. There's a line drive single into center field by Stephen Kwan, and Straw's going to stop at second base. So back-to-back singles with one out here in the sixth inning. And to your point, it's one of those life lessons, right? How many times have we been told, live in the moment?
Yeah.
You know, appreciate the now, because you don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. So that's what I say to people all the time when I was asked about this team early in the season. I say, don't worry about what they don't have, what they might not become. Just appreciate what they are right now. They're a fun team to watch, and they have continued that all season long.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, here's Ahmed Rosario, already 2 hits today.
They just keep coming at you. 11 hits now.
The right guys are warming up at the right time, Arch.
Oh, yeah.
You know, seriously, if you look at it, just look at the, I mean, we've seen Straw. But getting Ahmed back to swinging the bat the way he is so big for this offense. As Tito said a couple weeks ago, their offense is different when number 1 is playing well.
Well, that's the whole thing. They may have a little downtime, but they will be back. You know, they'll get it back. That's why they're everyday players.
You say that all the time. It's true, though.
Don't count them out. It's time for other people to, you know, the bottom part of the lineup. It's about time Straw starting to do something. Hedges and Maley were doing stuff at the bottom part. They picked it up a little bit. Now Miller's starting to swing the bat a little bit more, but now these guys are coming around again, so then they can do a lot of damage.
Well, Ahmed on the Homestead now has 6 hits, and he's got 5 RBI in his last 5 games.
You know, last weekend it was Gonzalez in Minnesota that did some damage. So, you know, you got to get it from everywhere.
Rick, we've seen Andre interview Stephen Kwan and other players after games this year, and they repeat the same refrain, and that is, we never quit, we never think we're out of a game, we battle, we fight, we scratch, we claw. From your experience as a player and all the time you've spent watching games as a broadcaster, when you hear those mantras repeated as the runners go and the pitch is fouled back, they'll have to retreat. How much of that, if you keep saying it and you keep hearing it, how much of it does become self-belief, or is it simply a matter of once you execute, then you believe?
They believe it because they've had to grow into it this year, and now they've seen it work from hustling, from doing this, and the whole team buys into it. Not just one guy, the whole team does. I haven't seen a whole team do this, I don't know, ever.
Wow.
I mean, the way this team is, and as young as they are doing it, it's been an unbelievable year.
It's energized all the people around.
It has, and they truly do believe what they're telling you.
Another line drive base hit. That's going to score one as Straw comes home. Juan will stop at third as Ahmed Rosario continues Cleveland's hit parade here this afternoon. It's 5-0 Guardians.
Man, just take it the other way. He's hitting the ball all over the field. That ball stayed out over the plate, so let's take it that way. I think it was Contreras coming over to try and get that ball and drops it as it wasn't a matter because Straw was going to score anyway once he realized that ball dropped. There's a score. He was coming to third base, but Rosario goes to second. Don't know if we'll give him an error on that ball or not.
I don't think so because I never saw Ahmed break stride. I mean, he was going to make him throw him out.
So that'll be a double, RBI double then for Ahmed. That's fine.
That's a Ahmed Jose double. Matt's right. He was never going to stop.
I spoke too soon. They overruled us. They called a single and an error.
Yeah.
I don't agree, but that's the call.
Look at that stat. Score. I thought we were doing our own score from now on. But didn't Ahmed lead the league in 3 hits, or was up there last year with Bogaerts?
He sure was.
Yeah, right there again.
Jose Ramirez homered in his first at bat today. Back. Ramirez fouling that at the plate with the infield drawn in. He's smelling another run batted in. He wants to put that ball in play and get a run home. Three consecutive singles here in the 6th inning, leading to yet another run. A dozen hits on the afternoon. This will not get it done. 2 away.
Hitting down for the Guardians, number 22.
It'll bring up Josh Naylor. Still second and third, 2 down. Naylor's double in the 5th inning gives him 13 hits in his last 13 games. By Naylor. off of Sanchez.
My goodness.
Urshela recovers to throw him out. We'll see if Sanchez is okay. That could not have felt good. Guardians tack one on here in the 6th. 3 straight 6th inning singles. And it's 5-0 Cleveland. 5-0 Guardians on top. And as we start the 7th inning, might be a problem with the second base. I don't know if it's just not laying down properly. While they sort this out, let's go to Al Pulaski with a Ken Ganley Kia game break.
All right, Matt, Arch, Andre, hey, let's head to St. Louis. Doubleheader day there today as well. They're 7.5 in front of the National League Central. Looks like they'll be more in front shortly. Yadi Molina sending this one out. 5th home run of the season. St. Louis up 5-0 on the Reds. They've got another one coming up tonight against the Reds in game 2 of the doubleheader. But all cards early today in St. Louis, fellas.
Looks like a big crowd there at Busch. Can't get that base to lay down. How about that?
Out of whack.
What just happened here?
It's loose. Andre said it's loose and it's not.
Yeah, it's not laying down.
It's not even laying down at all now. My man Chuck is out there trying to get it. You can see it's not going all the way.
There we go.
Oh, maybe.
No, it's a lopsided base. Get a new one.
Last thing anybody in the ground crew wants is this to happen. There it is.
There we go. All is right with the world.
Good work, Chuck. Shouldn't run, though. No, don't show Chuck running.
Breathe, Chuck, breathe.
Chuck, you all right? Got you running on TV, man. Chuck, have a donut.
Ahmed Rosario with a long throw, and Jose Miranda is retired for out number 1. Athletic trainer Andre Knott. He recommends donuts after a 30-yard sprint.
Number 1, Nick Gordon.
Here comes Nick Gordon. 0 for 2. Rick, I was thinking to myself, it's been already a kind of a long day for Twin defenders out there with 12 hits on the board for Cleveland. And as banged up as they are, their depth is somewhat depleted. Normally in the month of September with call-ups, you'd have room to maybe give some guys a breather, but the way things stand now, you've only got a couple of extra guys on the roster, and well, these guys are looking at another long night of baseball.
Yeah, it'll be 29 now because it spans to 28 in September. In a doubleheader, you get one more from the minor leagues, and their starter, Louis Barland, was the 29th guy today. Yeah, so there's not a whole lot of room for error for them.
Well, I'm sure they'll have more guys flying up from St. Paul. You know, that's the only thing that Tito has said is nice that you still have minor league baseball going. And they'll probably just keep rotating guys from St. Paul, their AAA team. But they're getting to the point where they don't even have guys there. This is getting ridiculous for them.
Gio Urshela fouls one off to the right. Gio had the Twins' second hit of the game in the 5th inning, and it was really kind of, if you're, from Shane Bieber's perspective, it's a bad break because it looked like maybe just a routine ground ball out. It hit the cut of the grass right in front of third base and somehow hopped over the bag and stayed fair, and it went for a double. Here's a double play ball. Rosario on to Miller. Stretch time in Cleveland. Guardians 5, Twins nothing. Check out our Miller Lite moment. Let's go back to the 4th inning. It was 2-0 Cleveland. Oscar Gonzalez leads off the inning with a single just over the glove of Carlos Correa. Then Andres Jimenez booms one off the wall just out of the reach of Jake Cave. And then Owen Miller, bang. 2-run single made it 4-0.
Yeah, it happened quickly. 3 straight hits.
They have consistently done what people tell you is maybe the hardest thing to do in baseball. That is get 3 hits in an inning to score a run. And they do it time and time again.
Yeah, they did it back in the 6th. You look at them, they had 5 runs, and Ramirez hit the solo home run in the 1st, but after that they had 11 hits and 4 runs scored from that point on. So it takes them almost 3 hits to get them every time. A lot of singles in there. And you can add another.
Oscar Gonzalez with his 2nd hit of the day. It's a baker's dozen, 13 hits for Cleveland.
And this one just finds its way through. That was a good pitch inside. It got in on a trademark, but you see how strong he is, muscles it out. And it just gets through the middle. That's what you're going to see, a lot of hits next year when you can't put guys on 3 on one side of the infield. You're going to see a lot of those hits going right back up the middle right there.
Now Andres Jimenez, a single, a double, scored a run and walked. This might be 2. There's 1. And they do turn the double play.
You see how Correa he loads up, man, and fires. He's got a good arm from second base to turn the double play. He cocks and loads and gets rid of it. Watch, he fires a seed to first base. Just give him a good feed if you're Gordon. He did. Now watch this. Let me see. Boom. There it goes.
And now Owen Miller. A 2-run single in the 4th that we just showed you. That extended his hitting streak 9 games. Fastball in off the plate. Here's the 2-2. Tied him up, struck him out. 7 complete. Cleveland 5, Minnesota nothing. Broadcast is presented by authority of the Cleveland Guardians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Guardians. Jake Cave leading off the 8th inning for Minnesota. He's 0 for 2. A ball and a strike. Slow chopper, and Ahmed Rosario cut in front of Andres Jimenez at the last second to make the play.
Right thing to do, but did you see Bieber pull his hand back and let him field it, which was wise as well, because it may have went off the end of his glove, and he just says, let it go. And Rosario realized, you know, as hard as it was hit, I'm going to come in and his momentum will be going to first base. That's why he did it. Jimenez got out of the way. He would have had the backhand. It might have been a little tougher play with Cade running. You never know. But that's the right thing to do.
Matt Wallner 0 for 2 in his major league debut. Sends a high drive, deep center field, and how about that? Matt Wallner with a home run in his major league debut.
He got some extension on that one, boy. He gave him a little bit of swinging room, and that kid crunched it. He had, what, 27 home runs down in the minor leagues this year.
Forest Lake, Minnesota native, was their first round pick in 2019 out of University of Southern Miss.
Yeah, rightfully so. That dugout happy for the youngster. Comes up and gets it off Shane Bieber, who allows his 16th home run. He gets the Twins on the board and makes it a 5-1 ball game. Congratulations to him.
Yeah. Boy, Andre, we've got the University of Southern Miss reunion going here with McCarty and
I was hoping Sandlin caught it and throw it back at him. They all lived together, played together in college.
That's pretty cool.
That is a cool story. He's a big guy too, by the way. He just went around third base.
Watch the extension here. That's a little slider there, and he left it up, and he gets it and hits it a ton. Well, that fan got it.
Yeah, he started the year Double-A, and between Double-A and Triple-A, he hit 27 homers, with 32 doubles and 95 ribbies.
Wow. Reminds me of the kid that we saw in Detroit, Kerry.
The left-hander?
Yeah, Carpenter.
Oh, right. Yeah.
He's moved up to about the 5th or 4th.
He did most of his damage in Double-A, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
In the Erie.
Continues, Matt. We're watching around the Central. All these young guys come up. Whether it be Kansas City, Minnesota, Detroit. Seems like everybody in our division has a couple of young outfielders that they're talking about when they come to town.
Well, everybody had to start, and they rebuilt.
Right. Which,
swing and a miss, struck him out.
Makes what the Guardians do even more impressive in my eyes, Arch.
Yeah. Yeah, you talk about young. I mean, let's take a look. You're looking at the youngest.
You can tell Beebs went from smiling after that play. He didn't touch it to giving out that home run. He's right back into his.
And there's the guy that got the home run, Paul. I wonder if somebody from Minnesota will try and get it back for him.
He's negotiating. He should just.
He's not. He's on.
Hey,
he's
Mom,
looking where he's going to go eat and drink tonight.
You got a beard like that, brother. That's nice. Got a couple colors in there and everything. I say that because I can't grow a beard.
Gary Sanchez
Nor would you.
Bat for Sandy Leon. And the 1-0 pitch. Fastball shaved the outside corner for a strike. Up the ladder. And this Saturday afternoon crowd, they're feeling it. Here's the 1-2. Slow chopper. Jimenez throws him out. 5-1 Guardians midway through the 8th. Let's go back to the first inning. 2 outs, a 3-0 pitch. And Jose Ramirez blasted it. His 28th home run of the year on this, his 30th birthday.
Nice way to come in on your birthday, and he passes Rocky Colavito for 11th all time in home runs in club history.
And Al Rosen.
And he might be one of the only guys that could be as popular as Rocky was back in his day, I'll tell you that. They loved him here. Don't knock the Rock.
Well, don't tread on Jose. Oh,
there's Mike.
Yeah, Mike.
Yeah, with Minnesota there. He's trying to talk his way into getting a baseball back for the young player. Good for him. It doesn't surprise me he's out there.
Well, Mike Herman will get it done. He'll negotiate. He'll broker a deal.
Yeah, he's just playing with him right now.
Austin Hedges 0 for 3. Pops one out of play. Yeah, Mike Herman started out in the PR department for the Twins and then eventually took over as their traveling secretary. He's been with the club a long time. Most fans are very good-natured when these things happen.
Cordial.
You know, it's can I get a signed ball or can I meet the player and just say hello? It's usually something. Every once in a while, somebody tries to hold it up for ransom. Usually the player says, "All right, well, fine, you just keep it." Because once you leave the ballpark, it's not worth anything anyway. It doesn't get authenticated.
Exactly.
But 3-2 pitch, and there's a fly ball, shallow left. And the catch made, out number 1. I
mean, what's the big deal? It's a baseball.
But I saw this story recently. I want to say it was Albert Pujols. I'm almost 99% sure it was Albert Pujols hit a home run. And the family who caught it, the girl I think had just lost her father, who was a long-time baseball fan. And Albert said, "You know what? I want you to have the baseball. I think it would mean more to you." That's class.
That was just last week,
wasn't it? Yeah.
In Pittsburgh when they were there.
That was last week. Last night, the girl that caught his home run said she would give it back to him. She just wanted a handshake.
Yeah.
He gave her a handshake.
That's cool.
He gave her the ball and said, "I don't need it."
It should be.
And that's $6.98. That's how it should be.
Yeah, but you're right. It's a baseball. Then he's hit so many. What difference does it make?
Well, it's 700. I bet he gets.
Well, that's different. That's different if you can get to that number. How many people have ever gotten to that number?
I mean,
3? That he'd be the 3rd.
Do you remember when he got to 690 and we were like, "You think?" And now I think everybody feels like he's going to get 700. Got about 16, 15 games left.
Well, I hope he does.
I hope he does too. And just to think of the names that have hit 700 home runs in the history of baseball.
Fastball missed inside, ball 4. 1-out walk for Miles Straw. This does not look like a smooth negotiation.
I know. I mean, look at that. Everybody's. He's probably working out something with the Indians, Guardians, because he's a fan here and he comes to the ball game. So he's trying to.
Is he trying to leverage his position?
You think? Tell him we'll give him an Andre Knott autographed baseball, and the deal will be done.
I don't know. Everybody doesn't like me, Arch.
No. We love you. We don't like you.
I love you too. I don't know if I want to give him one though if he's making it this difficult for him.
No, come on. He's negotiating.
This guy's first home run.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
yeah,
gee. I don't even want to know. Please stop showing this. Missed, no, called a strike. Let me ask you, any mementos from your career? Other than your gold glove, that's obviously a big one.
Yeah, the last out of Barker's perfect game. That baseball, that means something. The other ones are just pictures and stuff that friends and guys have signed. It wasn't a big thing back then, collecting things. I've given all my stuff away, most of it.
But you didn't get the ball from your first hit. Miles Straw takes off Kwan to right field. Wallner makes the catch. And now Straw's got to beat it back to first.
Ooh,
and
close.
He's just there in time. And there are 2 down.
Yeah, I got that one.
You the first hit?
Yeah,
You got the ball
the
from
first hit. First hit, a couple of
Where does it reside today?
Out in Arizona right now. When I was living here and I had the sports room down in the basement.
Do you look at it often? Does it conjure up memories for you?
Not right now because it's not on display.
Okay. But over the years, would you walk by and say, oh, there it is, I did that?
Not really.
That's what my point is like.
No. You know it's there. Okay,
Yeah.
you got it to show other people. I don't care about it. It's too long ago. Oh
Base
boy,
hit.
look at him. He doesn't stop once he gets rolling.
Number 4 for Ahmed Rosario on the afternoon. Straw goes all the way to third.
Once he gets rolling, look out. And you know, the amazing thing of this, he struck out in his first at-bat today, and then he has 4 consecutive hits. And he's used to the whole ballpark. Look out when he gets going. I remember when it wasn't too long ago, maybe about 5-6 weeks, he was leading the league in hits. And he's on a roll now, so he may catch up quickly.
His 4th 4-hit game of the year, tied for the league lead in that category.
Yeah.
His last 4-hit game against the Minnesota Twins. Back on June 29th.
He does it against teams in the division. He just loves it.
Now Jose Ramirez with another shot here to add to his birthday tally. He homered in the first. Since then has grounded into a double play and flied out twice. Two and 0. Called a strike, 2-1. There goes Rosario, pitches inside, it's 3-1. You know, I know this has been a dominant performance all in all by the Guardians. It's still only a 4-run game though.
I know it.
Jose with a high fly ball, but not gonna get it done. They strand 2 more. And we will go to the 9th with the Guardians up 4 and Emmanuel Clase coming in. Cam, and it was vintage Shane Bieber here today in another big game for the Guardians.
Boy, was it ever. He went out. The only blemish on that card as far as giving up the run was the solo home run to the rookie, Wallner. But he was on target again. He's been on such a nice roll. Another 8 innings for Bieber, and he continues his dominance against the Minnesota Twins.
Guardians Live presented by Toyota. Coming up next, Alan Jensen will have the highlights and break it all down for you. It's been a complete game. They have played well, top to bottom. Just showed you Shane Bieber's day. The offense, they broke out the bats early and often. They've only scored 5, but they have 14 hits, so they've had Minnesota on their heels all afternoon long. Manuel Clase, not a save situation, trying to finish it out here. Top of the order, Luis Arraez 0 for 3 will lead it off. Fly ball left field. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Stepping in now for the Twins, number 4, Carlos Correa.
Carlos Correa 1 for 3 on the afternoon. Swing and a miss. The second place White Sox will be underway in Detroit at 6 o'clock. Keep you updated on that game throughout the evening. We'll be back with game 2 of our day-night doubleheader. Guardians Live, 6:30. Broke his bat. Harmless foul ball. 0-2.
Got to get it all doctored up. Most times hitters have that second bat out of that bat rack already, you know, pine tarred up and taken care of. So almost like it's your gamer.
He's been swinging it so well. Maybe he hasn't broken a bat
True.
in a while.
You know what? You're right. That certainly can happen when a good hitter gets on a roll. That bat can last for a while.
I wish I could remember the exact number, but I read a story. Joe DiMaggio, might have been the year he had the hit streak. I think it was something. It was single digits, like 6, 8, 9 bats is all he used for the whole year. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, he hit the ball in the same spot every year. And they the kind of wood that they used to get, the tree trunks. I mean, and they swung pretty heavy bats most of the time. He couldn't bust those.
They're swinging telephone poles.
Yeah, man, let's go.
2 down. Jose Miranda to the plate. 18,177 turning out this afternoon on a beautiful day as they have watched the Guardians dominate Minnesota. Trying to beat them for the 7th time in a row. Swing and a miss.
Nice little slider there.
Grounded foul. Emmanuel Clase. Again, not a save situation, but he leads the league with 36 saves on the year. And the 2-strike pitch. do it again here. Hedge is pretty emphatic about the location of this pitch. The 0-2. Popped up. Jimenez. Book it. The Guardians beat Minnesota for the 7th consecutive time. Overall, they've now won 10 of their last 12, and they go to a season-high 12 games over 500 for the first time since the end of the 2019 campaign. So far, so good. They have accomplished exactly what they wanted to do at the start of this 5-game series.
Yeah, after they got last night's game, and you know you got Bieber on the mound in game 1, this is one that they wanted. And Ramirez goes out there in the first inning, the bottom half of that first, gives him a run, and Bieber just dominated the rest of the way. Went his 8 innings, and they added on. They hit the ball all over the place. Tell you what, Minnesota, they're beaten up, and it's going to be tough for them to win a game. They're going to have everything go their way.
Minnesota's back to 500 now at 72 and 72 on the year. Time now for Guardians Live postgame with Al and Jensen. You know the number. 38 straight when you get Bieber 4 or more.